So it's day 7. I got that planter box gone. I got all my posts up. I think I'm within an inch or two. It's really hard to tell because I don't have a consistent spot to measure from on the house. I'm really close, if I'm off at all. Anyway, up there I got a string going all the way across. I got a line level there in the middle, and I got it marked. Each post I got marked on all 4 sides according to that string. I took a square and marked each side. So now to cut it. I got all the posts cut. Okay, this is what we got for the day. So these are 2x4s that I just put together. I didn't buy beams. And then when it came to cutting them and joining them here, I went 1.25 inches on one side, like such, and then from here 1.25 inches on this side, just to tow everything in so there's not a cut all in the same spot. Try and strengthen it a little bit as best as possible. And these 2x4s are screwed together at every foot, so they are pretty solid. It is day 8. It's Father's Day 2017. Over the next couple of days, I've got time that I can work on this project here, but we've got a lot of appointments set, so it's going to be like 2 hours, 4 hours here and there. So I got to do what I can do in the time that I have to do it. Up to this point, every day that I've been out here has been a 12-hour, 14-hour day. I put in some serious time on the full days that I've had out here, but we've got dentist appointments set for me, for the wife. The boys got a doctor's appointment. We've got a lot going on over the next couple of days. Happy Father's Day to me. Brand new drill. Very happy. Now this puppy here, I've had this guy for like 10 years, and this thing has built some serious stuff. I have gotten my money's worth out of this guy 10 times over. Since I've been working on this, probably like 3 times so far, I've had this thing smoking. It's not the first time that I've had it smoking. I've done other projects where I've had this thing smoking quite a bit too. So battery's good, but the drill's just running out of, it just has no oomph anymore. So I'm gonna still use it on light duty kind of stuff until it goes. So it is day 8, and I got a 2-hour time frame to work in today. So I'm gonna focus on getting up the rest of my so-called beams, so that I can start putting in some studs across and kind of secure it so that it stays squared up as best as I can get it. Posts and beam are all up. Okay, so when it comes to placing these guys here, I need to account for a couple of things. Wherever I place this, I got 5/8 of an inch for plywood. Then the roof material itself, the metal roof has got a 3/8 of an inch rib, so that's going to go up higher. Plus I've got the felt paper to put on, and I still need to get the flashing in there. So I need at least like 2 inches of clearance, so I should be good. I shouldn't have any problems. And when it comes to placing these guys here, I've gone down as low as I can, just so I have space to work with for all my other material there. I don't want to go down any lower than I am. And the way I've been approaching it is just using the square here, and boom, right there, we're good. So that's my technique. Time's up. I've got the beam up. I've got all the beams up and the posts. And I've got to start to my stud hangers there. Still got a lot more to do. Day 9. It's about 1 in the afternoon, easy 100 degrees, and I'm starting my day. Probably get 4 hours today in if I'm lucky, so let's get to getting. I got all my stud hanger pieces up there, at least as far as I've completed the header board up there. And I've got 4 studs up here in each section, so I can just kind of secure the whole post and beam situation. To find square on these studs, I just got my square here and lined it up when it came out flush on the beam and on the 2x4, and that's where it's supposed to be. So to find the angle, what I did, but I took the square and I got this level here and just found where the level was, and then on the other side of the square here it tells you what degree it is, so it comes out being 5 degrees is the angle that I need to cut. So okay, so 5 degrees is my cut, and then what I need to do is my length, my metal panels are 12 feet long, and I talked to the seamless gutter guy, and he said I need to keep at least an inch overhang on the metal for the gutters. So I've got an 1.5 inches. I'm going to put a fascia board here, and that fascia board is going to be 1.5 inches. Plus I need another inch of overhang, so I need 2.5 inches that I got to cut off. So I measured 2.5 inches from up here, made my mark, and then from there took the mark and then found my angle. To see how square I am to the house as far as my posts and beams go, once I put up these studs and kind of squared them off, I basically measured from the end of the stud to the 2x4, and I pretty much stay within 3/4 of an inch from end to end. I think that's pretty good considering too that that's pretty good considering I didn't have a consistent place on the house to measure from. And on top of that, I gotta give a little bit of variance because this, not all these pieces of wood are straight. I mean, I know these beams kind of bow here and there, and but anyway, I think it's pretty damn close. And to see how I did as far as lining up the overhang, once I put this stud up, I did the square thing up there, and then measured from the end of the board to center of the stud up here, and then over there as well, and they both came out to like 32.5 inches. So not too bad considering my method of lining it up was this here piece of string going up against the siding. Pretty hokey stuff, but it worked. Okay, this concludes the day. I've got 4 studs up, 1 in each section, so I can stabilize everything. Everything's within about 3/4 of an inch, and I've got these studs here screwed in from the sides, like pigeon-toed in from each side. So I got each one of these 4 studs that are up here, I got pigeon-toed in, basically, at an angle there, just to keep everything stable and sturdy. I might have to move them a little bit here or there once I start putting up everything else, all the other ones, but they should be pretty close.